What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to continue on with the Mark 1 GTI project, and we're going to start working on the interior today. So we've always wanted to go with the motorsport themed interior in one of our cars with no carpet, just the floor, color matched with the exterior, 2 bucket seats, a dashboard, a steering wheel, a shifter, and maybe some door cards and maybe a headliner. So at first we were kind of unsure if we wanted to go through with this idea in this project because it's a lot of work, and for anyone that has ever done like a shaved engine bay on a Mark 1 or Mark 2, you know that there's a lot of sound insulation, a lot of silicone, a lot of seam sealers around the car from factory, and especially under the driver and passenger seat. But I was going to remove the carpet to give it a good go with the vacuum, and I already noticed that most of the sound insulation was already removed from underneath the seats, underneath the carpet. There were only a few more bits left by the front firewall and by the rear tire well, so there basically wasn't much left. So after a few days and a long process of getting the floor cleaned up and ready for paint, looks like it's ready for the first coat of primer. We already went through the floor, got most of the sound insulation removed, did a bunch of rust prevention and a few spots of surface rust. And as you can see back here in the tire well, we actually cut out the tire well and we filled it in with the plate to cover it up and keep things solid back there. From the back side, my dad went ahead and made a few plates on the sides to cover up a few holes that make up the frame of the car. Here's a plate once again. We'll fold it around with silicone, as you can see on the very edges, so it can look similar to the silicone that comes originally on the car. And we got 2 of the door cards removed so they don't get messed up with the primer or any of the paint. We're going to be taping up these painted panels over here because they're already matched with the body of the car. All right, this is what we're going to be using. This is Rust-Oleum Clean Metal Primer, and it's white, so it's actually going to give us an idea of how it's going to turn out at the end. Remember, this is only the primer. This is not the actual paint that's going to be the final coat at the very end. And this is a spray can of the same primer, just to spray down the hard to reach areas that I can't reach with the roll right here. And obviously this is going to be my pan for the paint. I don't have any actual pan for the paint, so I just used an aluminum pan for food, and it's not going to be used anyway, so might as well put it to good use. Looks like the first coat of primer is done and dry. We still got the fan running. We're going to be doing the second coat soon. The reason why we've decided to do a second coat is because a few yellow spots are showing up and coming out above the primer, and we don't want that to obviously show up when we do the final coat of paint. That's going to have a gloss finish. A few yellow spots are showing up in the back by the tire well, and a few spots over here on the front floors. And the reason it's black is that this is actually undercoating. We're just trying out a few methods to see what works best to get rid of those yellow spots. So the plan is to do undercoating on top of the primer and then do another coat on top of primer, just so we're sure that nothing is going to end up showing up on the final gloss finish at the end. And over here, we're going to see if just another coat of primer works out, and also in the back. Alright, here's the moment that we've all been waiting for. Here's the floor. It's been a few days. We let it all get dry and cure. My dad went ahead and did the last 2 coats of the gloss finish a few days ago. I gotta say, we're really happy with how it came out. I really love the gloss finish and how it turned out. Here's the view all the way in the back. And now I guess we can move on to the next steps with the interior. The first thing we're going to try to tackle is the roll cage, which you got right here. We're going to be working on it in a few. But only thing that we didn't really think about, and we didn't really plan ahead that well, it's going to have to be, the paint is going to have to be scraped and cleaned in a few areas where the roll cage is going to be welded and bolted on. Alright, we got the roll cage in. 2 of the brackets are welded on. I just finished cleaning up some of the welds now, so we didn't really think about how we were gonna install these 2 mounts. We thought that they were just gonna be bolted on, but once we actually brought in the cage, we saw the positioning of where the brackets are gonna go, and we thought, well, how are we gonna bolt it on when there's no place to really place a bolt and the nut? So we just went with welding to make things easier. Everything's super solid. Not the prettiest welds, but they'll definitely get the job done. So now I just have to work on getting the area cleaned up. We're gonna be doing a few touch-ups. That's the great thing about Rust-Oleum. It's so easy to touch up. All I gotta do is clean up the area, sand things down a bit, and apply primer and paint. Basically the same process we did with everything else the first time. But yeah, it looks real nice. I'm gonna be bringing in the rest of the roll cage after that. So moving on to the next day of the interior. Last night we finished touching up the brackets down here that we welded. Looks like nothing even happened. And we finished assembling the rest of the roll cage as well. As you can see, it comes up all the way to the front. We got it all tightened down. It's not moving anywhere from here. Looks real good. We did a bit of touch-ups here and there. But now I guess we can move on to the rest of the interior.
Alright guys, so this is what's going in next. We're super excited to try this TR Motorsport shifter. We never really used any or tested or anything, but we hear good things about it, so that's why we decided to go with this one. And gonna give it a try. I think it's gonna be a nice improvement for what we're trying to do. We'll see how it feels, how it performs.
Let me get a close-up real quick. Here it is, shifter tower. Similar to all the CAE shifter towers out there, right?
That's pretty much similar, but I think it's just a little cheaper than the other one, but it's all made. That's what it looks like. I don't even know how much the other one goes.
Yeah, it looks like good quality though.
So
anything will be a big improvement from the 02A shifter box.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, those things are nice and everything, but definitely not as well as we want this car to perform. So that's why we're gonna try this one.
The shifter tower is in. Unfortunately, I didn't get any chance to record the installation, but it's all tight. Maybe later on we're gonna mess with the positioning, but for now this is pretty much how it's gonna be. It looks super aggressive and it looks really nice. I like the gunmetal finish as well. It makes a lot of contrast, and yeah, I can't wait to actually get the motor running and actually shift with it.
So I guess we're gonna leave it at this. Just a little taste of what we're gonna be running. Some Toyos on these 15x8 wheels. They're really nice and beefy, so I think they're gonna grip pretty well. Shout out to my guy George, that he always help us out mounting and dismounting all these tires and all the craziness that we put him through. So shout out to him and thank you. We'll give you another video hopefully in about a week or so once we install the cabrio kit and finish up with the brakes and all that leftovers we have. We're really looking forward to get this thing done soon, and I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.